5 seconds. Good evening. I took charge this afternoon as the 23rd Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. These are not easy times, and the economy faces challenges. At the same time, India is a fundamentally sound economy with a bright future. Our task today is to build a bridge to the future over the stormy waves produced by global financial markets. I have every confidence we will succeed in doing that. Today, I want to articulate some first steps, concrete actions we will take, as well as some intentions to take actions based on plans we will formulate. Before I turn to specifics, let me repeat what I said on the day I was appointed. The Reserve Bank is a great institution with a tradition of integrity, independence, and professionalism. I congratulate Dr. Subbarao on his leadership in guiding the bank through very difficult times, and I took forward to working with the many dedicated employees of the Reserve Bank of India to further some of the important initiatives he started. I have been touched by the warmth with which the Reserve Bank of India staff have welcomed me to the existing traditions of the Reserve Bank of India, which will be the bedrock of our work. We will emphasize two other traditions that become important in these times: transparency and predictability. At a time when financial markets are volatile, volatile and there is some domestic political uncertainty because of impending elections, the Reserve Bank of India should be a beacon of stability as to its objectives. That is not to say we will never surprise markets with actions. A central bank should never say never, but the public should have a clear framework as to where we are going and understand how our policy actions fit into the framework. Key to all this is communication, and I want to underscore communication with this statement on my first day in office. We will be making the first monetary policy statement of my turn on September 20. I have postponed the originally set date a bit so that between now and then I have enough time to consider all major developments in the required detail. I will leave a detailed explanation of our policy stance till then, but let me emphasize that the Reserve Bank of India takes its mandate from the Reserve Bank of India Act of 1934, which says the Reserve Bank for India was constituted to regulate the issue of bank notes and the keeping of reserves with a view to securing monetary stability in India and generally to operate the currency and credit system of the country to its advantage. The primary role of the central bank, as the act suggests, is monetary stability, that is, to sustain confidence in the value of the country's money. Ultimately, this means low and stable expectations of inflation, whether that inflation stems from domestic sources or from changes in the value of the currency, from supply constraints or demand pressures. I have asked Deputy Governor, together with a panel he will constitute of outside experts and Reserve Bank of India staff, to come up with suggestions in 3 months on what needs to be done to revise and strengthen our monetary policy framework. A number of past committees, including the Financial Sector Legislative Reforms Commission, have opined on this, and their views will also be considered carefully. I talked about the primary role of the Reserve Bank of India as preserving the purchasing power of the rupee, but we have two other important mandates: inclusive growth and development, as well as financial stability. As the central bank of a developing country, we have additional tools to generate growth. We can accelerate financial development and inclusion. Rural areas, especially our villages, as well as small and medium industries across the country, have been important engines of growth even as large company growth has slowed. But access to finance is still hard for the poor and for rural and small and medium industries. We need faster, broad based, inclusive growth leading to a rapid fall in poverty. The Indian public would benefit from more competition between the banks, and banks would benefit from more freedom in decision making. The Reserve Bank of India will shortly issue the necessary circular to completely free bank branching for domestic scheduled commercial banks in every part of the country. No longer will a well run scheduled domestic commercial bank have to approach the Reserve Bank of India for permission to open a branch. We will, of course, require banks to fulfill certain inclusion criteria in underserved areas in proportion to their expansion in urban areas, and we will restrain improperly managed banks from expanding until they convince supervisors of their stability. But branching will be free for all scheduled domestic commercial banks except the poorly managed. There has been a fair amount of public attention devoted to new bank licenses. The Reserve Bank of India will give out new bank licenses as soon as consistent with the highest standards of transparency and diligence. We are in the process of constituting an external committee. Dr. Bimal Jalan, an illustrious former governor, has agreed to chair it, and the committee will be composed of individuals with impeccable reputation. This committee will screen license applicants after an initial compilation of applications by the Reserve Bank of India staff. The external committee will make recommendations to the Reserve Bank of India governor and deputy governors, and we will propose the final slate to the committee of the Reserve Bank of India Central Board. I hope to announce the licenses within or soon after the term of DG Anand Sinha, who has been shepherding the process. His term expires in January 2014. We will not stop with these licenses. The Reserve Bank of India has put an excellent document on its website exploring the possibility of differentiated licenses for small banks and wholesale banks, the possibility of continuous or on tap licensing, and the possibility of converting large urban cooperative banks into commercial banks. We will pursue these creative ideas of the Reserve Bank of India staff and come up with a detailed roadmap of the necessary reforms and regulations for freeing entry and making the licensing process more frequent after we get comments from stakeholders.